one thing we need. Duke Kilroy.
You're sounding like a terrorist.
The war's coming.
They disrespected the Marshal name. Time for talk is done.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love Fightland, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about Fightland Season 1, Episode 3. This is the recap. Down below, I want you guys to let me know, how did y'all feel about this episode? What do y'all think is going to happen next? This whole war that's about to pop off with the Russians and the Marshals, the Albanians, is getting crazy. Duke, of course, he is causing all this, but he may have some regrets if innocent bodies are starting to get dropped off. We also know in this episode that your girl Kim is law enforcement. She's working with her partner Lewis. And of course, she's talking about how something happened with her sister or whatever, and she wants revenge. She wants to prove that Marshall Promotions are corrupt or whatever. So we're going to see how that game plan works, and how long would it take Duke to figure out that she is a cop. So I want you guys to let me know down below. And also, do y'all believe that Kinsley eventually is going to return? Because as of right now, no one knows where he is at. His kids don't know where he is at. And we know Duke was hoping that this game plan causing this war will bring him out of hiding. But that game plan might not work. So we're going to see what's going to happen. But let's go ahead and begin this recap. I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points. If I miss anything, I want you guys to let me know down below. So what did we see in episode 3 titled No Innocence? Now this episode starts out exactly where we left off at the end of episode 2. We know Lazaro, he was following Kim around trying to see who she was, but he could not see her face, and he ends up losing her, right? And plus, it was multiple people with all black and hoods on, so it made it very confusing for him. Now, we know Kim, she goes back and she meets up with Lewis, her partner, and apparently they're on this case to figure out what's going on with her sister, Rena, or whatever, right? Apparently, she's went missing or whatever, and she is blaming Kinsley Marshall, but of course, he is still missing, so she is putting pressure on Marshall Promotions, trying to see what she can get out of that. At the same time, Simeon is their CI, but Simeon ain't here no more. So the game plan is to put pressure on Duke. She believes that she can get close to him and maybe she can get him to flip. And Lewis tells her that they have to be very careful as far as doing this, because this Miller character, which could be their boss or whatever, higher up, if he finds out about her connection to Marshall Promotions in this case, basically it can ruin everything. So we're going to see how she's going to be able to execute this without getting caught up. But man, this story is definitely getting very interesting, and hell, I want to know what happened to her sister too. Now we get to Lazaro and Duke, and they're talking about the next part of the game plan. We know that Lazaro was not able to see who he was on the phone with as far as the whole Simeon connect, and apparently they're going to be meeting up later on. Now, they also want to push this game plan a little bit harder because apparently it's moving too slow. Know what I'm saying? They're trying to pin all this on the Russians, but it seems like CC ain't really believing it. Y'all know she wants 100% proof. So Duke was like, look, how about we blow up part of the casino? Because that's where they're laundering money at. And if we end up doing that, it's going to shut that down. And it's going to be issues for them, which would once again point the finger at the Russians. Lazaro, he was on demon time. He was like, look, how about we just drop off Zeke and CC? You know what I'm saying? That's what we can do. But Duke ain't going for that. Y'all know he ain't trying to be out here just killing people, right? Now we get to Jay and Duke. We know Jay is going to help out Duke as far as getting the explosives for this, mission. But Duke is telling him we were just going to use it for a warehouse or whatever. He does not know all the details about it being at a casino, but he's going to find out later on in the episode. Now CC, she does not believe the Russians did this. She wants 100% proof. And one of the reasons why she does not believe they did this is because she is busy sleeping with Nick, right? Now, she's asking him about this as far as if they did this with the drugs and, of course, Nadim's son and the whole tongue getting cut out. And he's like, nah, that's old school moves. You know what I'm saying? I'm more new school. We don't do that no more. But he does mention that he got a guy in his organization that may have done this, a guy named Sergey or whatever. He doesn't like the guy, so he's putting the pressure on him. But in reality, he doesn't even believe it's him. It's just a way to put a body out there. We know the Albanians, they're not playing around, and she's already been told if nothing happens, a war is about to start. So she lets him know what time it is, and apparently they're supposed to get this Sergey guy or whatever. That way they can end this, but we know that's not going to be that easy. And we know the two end up hooking up, but in this business, you can't be mixing business with pleasure because bad things could end up happening. Now we get to your girl Joy. She is looking up articles about Duke and all that stuff, reminiscing about all the past times that they used to have, the life that they could have had, and man, she wanting so bad. Now, we know she ended up buying a new property, and we know that Cece is going to talk to her about this because the last thing that she wants is any large purchases. Now we get to Duke and he goes outside and he sees Eric Coleman. Remember, this is the same promoter that was going to sign him 8 years ago, right? This is the guy that I don't trust at all. I think he up to something. Know what I'm saying? Now he brings out the contract talking about I saved it or whatever. I was so close to greatness. And he's talking about, do you want to get back into the sport of boxing? He wants to sign Duke. He tells him that he can get the best doctors as far as his hand injury. And y'all know the Duke ain't going. He ain't trying to get back into the sport. But in reality, I think deep down inside, he wants to just prove that he can do it. But as of right now, he ain't going to do it. But I don't trust this Eric Coleman guy at all. I mean, you guys can let me know, but it always seemed like he was up to something. I mean, maybe it's because that he always wanted to sign Duke, or maybe he got some secrets that we don't know about, and eventually we will end up finding out. Well, we're going to see. Now, we know Zeke ends up meeting up with Corey with Legacy Boxing. They're talking about this 3-fight deal. This 3-fight deal turns into a 6-fight deal, but y'all know Corey, he wants to get Duke back into the sport of boxing. So, of course, Zeke is promising him that that's exactly what he's going to do. And we know he starts his game plan in this episode by having a conversation with Duke about this. Now, we get to Kim and Jasmine. Now, of course, Jasmine understands that Kim, she is trying to get Duke. And Jasmine tells her, well, if I'm going to go at anybody on the payroll, I'm going to go to the highest person. And that is your boy Kinsley Marshall. And she talks about going to this special villa that he brings his special girls to or whatever. And Kim was like, what? Like, what villa are you talking about? So maybe that's where he is at. And this is what Kim is saying. But of course, no one knows. It's a mystery. So now Kim has more intel as far as where Kinsley could be and if he took her sister to that mystery villa. Now we get to Cece and we know she was looking at the cameras to see if she can get any more intel on what happened to Simeon. And she notices that Simeon was watching Duke, right? And Duke was already on camera looking like he was doing some shady stuff. So she will question him later on in the episode about if he, seen or knows where Simeon's at. But you can tell by watching this episode that her trust for Duke is going down lower and lower. Now we get to your boy Lazaro. And this is the next step of the game plan to see if they can find out who Simeon was talking to on that phone. And your boy Lewis, he gets a call that they found Simeon's body. So of course, he has to hurry up and leave. And he understands whoever was texting him ain't Simeon. And most likely they're trying to set him up. Now, we know Lazaro, he does end up following him, which we know he goes to the morgue. Now, we get to your girl, Kim and Duke. They're kicking it in the hot tub, having a good old time. They're talking about, Kinsley. Don't nobody know where he is at. They also talk about her tattoo that she has because it's an R, which stands for her sister Rena. And she tells him that she got it after she went missing. So where is her sister at? Now, while they're having this conversation, we know she gets the call that they have found the body of Simeon. So she has to leave. She goes and she meets up with your boy Lewis. And he's like, man, so this whole thing was a setup as far as whoever is texting us. And we have to move real smart. Now, Kim ends up leaving and Lazaro was able to get a picture of Lewis, but he was not able to get a picture of your girl Kim. But we know your girl Kim, she ain't going. We know Lewis was telling her that this whole thing is over with. It's too risky. But she tells him, hell nah, she ain't done with this yet. She needs to get Kinsley at all costs. Now, we get to your boy Zeke. He's having a conversation with Duke about returning to the sport of boxing. And we know Duke does tell him that he's thought about it. And that's all that Zeke wanted to hear. So you already know he's going to continue the game plan to slowly but surely try to get him back into the sport to get this money. And we know he wants Duke to go to Aiden's birthday party because he ain't had no cheeks in 8 years. And we know it's going to be some females there. Now, also in the episode, we know Cece does question Duke about the last time that he saw Simeon. He does mention that the last time that he saw him, that they were talking about boxing, and that was pretty much it. But it seems like Cece is trying to catch him in a lie, asking him questions on how he got home and all this stuff. And we know she saw that video, so she understands that Duke is up to something. And I believe she wants to get more intel on him in order to prove her theory. Now, Cece has a conversation with Joy about that property that she bought. She tells her, look, you got to make sure that it's authorized by me first. I sent out an email as far as family purchases, and she was pissed off. But of course, Joy tells her that She doesn't feel like she needs to do that. And it's her son's birthday, so that's the last thing that she is trying to hear for real. Now, we know Aiden, he is shadow boxing with Duke. He is shadow boxing probably with his real dad for real. I mean, y'all can let me know if y'all think this is the case, but I think something is up. I'm feeling like that's his real son, and we can tell just by the look on Joy's face. Maybe she believes the same thing as well. Now, we get to Duke. We know he goes to the back of the casino. He sees that it's going to be a delivery tonight, and they're going to plan this whole explosion to happen at this particular spot. Now, he goes back home, and he has a conversation with Jay. Jay finds out all the details that they're going to use these explosives for the casino. And Jay is like, really? So you're going to kill innocent people? And Duke is telling him, nah, it ain't going to be nobody in that area or whatever. But we can tell that Jay is starting to regret helping Duke out in the first place. And this is what I've been talking about. Jay, you already seen what happened to Simeon. You still helping him out? You still being involved in all this? I mean, what you think going to happen? Now, we get to Duke and his father. His father is pissed off because he saw Duke having a conversation with this guy at the gym. And he thinks that Duke is up there trying to, I guess, take one of his girl fighters or whatever for Marshall Promotions, but that's not the case. The guy just wanted to get some tips from Duke as far as his daughter, and that's it. He is not trying to get this girl to go to Marshall Promotions. They get into like an argument or whatever, and Duke tells him that he's going to mess up these kids' life just like he messed up him and Calvin's life when they was younger as well. And he says this place is a shithole and ain't nothing changed. Man, your boy Gary was pissed off. He hems Duke up on the wall, and then he ends up telling him just to get out. So it's going to still be some father and son issues. Hopefully they're able to fix these issues by the end of the season. But as of right now, it definitely ain't looking too good. Now, Cece goes back to meet up with Nick because she wants to know the intel on this Sergey character or whatever. She wants to drop him off. He is telling her that this has to be clean. He does not want any chaos, but it's like he is not giving her all the intel. And she is starting to second guess as far as if she can really trust this guy. Now, while she's having this conversation, she gets a call about Simeon. They have found his body, and you already know she is very upset to get this news. Now, it is time for the game plan. It is time to blow up part of this casino. And it seemed like part of the game plan was going quite well, right? Now we know Lazaro, he went in first. He set the bomb and he came back out. But your boy Duke, he remembered what his boy Jay said. No innocent people needs to get dropped off. And apparently one of the workers, he was still in the area that the bomb was going to go off in. So Duke had to go up there. He had to knock the guy out. He didn't have any mask on at all. And then he got stuck. He had to grab the guy's key. He was able to grab him up out of there. And then the bomb went off, exploding part of the casino right as Duke was pulling him out. So the guy was good. You know what I'm saying? Duke was good as well. But man, that was very close. Now we get to your boy Zeke and Cece. They're talking about Simeon getting dropped off and all the stuff that's been going down. And your boy Zeke is like, look, it gotta be the Russians. It gotta be that boy Nick and his crew. They gotta go. They gotta pay for this. And Cece's like, look, we gotta get proof. She wants to go and talk to Nick once again, but Zeke ain't going. He's like, hell nah. We're gonna do this my way. We're gonna do it the way that Dad probably would have done it. And your girl Cece can't do nothing at all because it seems like Zeke is going on demon time. Now we get to Joy and Duke. We know she goes to the boxing gym trying to get out her frustrations. She is hitting the boxing bag. Duke is there helping her out. And then all of a sudden the two, they start making out. They start hooking up. And you already know he was clapping those cheeks, having a good old time. It was just like old times, right? Now while they're laying down, all of a sudden your boy Zeke pops up. He is yelling for Duke. And next thing we know, Joy and Duke, they get up real quick. And of course, Joy was able to hide. Now, your boy Zeke is talking about, man, you finally got you some cheeks, man. And she smells good. Now, do you guys believe that Zeke is going to walk past Joy in one of these episodes and he's going to remember that smell and he's going to be like, man, so you were the one that Duke was hooking up with. Now, it's quite obvious to me that Cece, she knows their past as far as Duke and Joy. But it seems like maybe Zeke does not know about that. I mean, y'all can let me know what y'all think about that down below. Now we get to the end of the episode. We know Zeke is getting tired of the Russians. He wants to go to war. He wants to take them out. He is asking Duke, what will he do? And Duke is like, look, time for talk is over. It's time to go ahead and get the job done. How about you call your daddy and see what he's going to do? You know what I'm saying? See if he can help us out. That was the whole game plan to get Kinsley out of hiding. But Zeke tells him, man, look, F my daddy. We can do this. Just me and you. And I don't even know. We don't even know where he is at. You know what I'm saying? They don't know where Kinsley is at. They've been putting on the front like they know, where he has been, but they don't know anything at all. So now this game plan might not go as planned, and your boy Zeke is definitely on demon time. He is ready to wipe out the Russians. He grabs a strap. He gives Duke a strap as well. He is starting to trust him way more, and it seems like they're about to go in and put in some work. So the question is, what's going to happen next? Because things are heating up a whole lot, and we only in episode 3. Now down below, I want you guys to let me know, what do y'all think about episode 3? What y'all think is going to happen in episode 4? Now you already know I'm going to give you guys that what to expect video over the weekend, so stay tuned for that. I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support. Thanks to all the members of the channel, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.